Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning coffee hour. Here's my coffee. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that's not spoken much about, and it is death. Death is something that obsesses and plagues human beings, whether it is now or in the past, from the time we became the species we are, modern Homo sapiens with 1.5 plus liter brain size, the volume of the brain. And when we have a prefrontal cortex, because of natural selection and evolution, it is a good thing. We are able to plan for the future, think in a very different way from animals who do not have such a large prefrontal cortex like what we have. But concomitant to that is the fear of death, because now we know, or we become self-aware that we are finite and finitude animals, finitude lifespan, and someday we may not exist. And to overcome this fear, our cultures have invented different kinds of religions and philosophies as to how do we live this limited life. And mythologies, which are part of religions, have also arose to comfort and say life goes on ad infinitum, that we are really immortal. That's a question that probably has to be handled by these mythologies or metaphysics that's beyond philosophy. But let me get very practical here, and to get practical, I would like to borrow the lines from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, the Stoic philosopher, who said it very well. Consider that before long you will be nowhere and nothing, nor will anything you behold exist, nor one that will be alive now exist. It is in the nature of things to change, to perish, to be transformed, so that other things may arise and exist. So it was very straightforward. He was a very practical man, very rational. He was not into mythologies and speculations about what may or may not exist after death. And that's how he comported with life itself. And he lived a good life. And now he is in the annals of philosophical history with his book, Meditations. And I also find it very interesting to see how indigenous people who live so close to nature handle death, and I draw deeply from them. And these lines come from the Lakota tradition. Lakotas are a sub-tribe of the Oglala Sioux. They live in the Dakotas now. And every day they use this term, hokahe, let's go, or it's a good day to die. And hokahe is something that I say every day to myself, and it also comes from, and there is something similar in the Stoic Roman tradition. In Latin, they use the word Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. So it is a healthy thing to remind oneself, whether you are 25 years old, 55, or almost touching 60 like me, to remind oneself that our life is finite. So let me conclude by sharing these lines from the Lakotas, which I myself tell to myself every day, standing under the sky right after sunrise, which goes like this: Hoka hey, it's a good day to die. In Lakota means not to fear death, to stand up for what you believe, to fight against all odds, and to survive. The one truth about life is we all die. What matters is not the dying but the living. How we live is more important than how we die. The only thing important about dying is to die without fear, with dignity, and accepting it is what it is. The person who is shackled by the fear of death dies every day. The person who is not shackled by the fear of death dies just but only once. Accept the inevitable. Embrace the final reality of life and smile in the face of the infinite. The real secret for happiness is not to fear your own death, not to fear failure, ridicule, rejection, judgment, not to seek other people's approval, attention, acceptance, validation, prayers, praise, not to compare, contrast, copy, or compete with others, and not to fear others. Thank you.